you know what a coach is to me? A coach is that guy that I saw in Rome, that he was a hairdresser in his early 20s, okay? That to me is one of the best coaches I've ever seen in my life. So I go there for all that work right there, and as you guys can see, it's a lot of work, right? And I get there, and the dude, it was my boy, tattoos everywhere, and then we start talking, and he barely speaks English, and he's like, oh, I'm not gonna cut the hair, and then we go into it and everything, and it was amazing. First of all, it took, I kid you not, 40 minutes to basically shave my head. I mean, keep it that length, right? But every single time he did something, he took 2 minutes out of his time in his poor English, where he really was working, to explain to me the why. Then every time he used cream, he explained what the cream was coming, where he was coming from, why he liked that company, and why he was applying it, because it depended on my hair and everything, and it was awesome. And he gets to my beard, and he tells me he doesn't want to use a machine because the machine is not good, he makes it too clean. What he wants is always scissors to keep in natural shape. Dude, it lasted like this for an hour and 15 minutes, and I would go to Rome just to get the haircut again, because that was like such an inspiring experience with him. And I left going like, I want to do it again right now. I don't care how much I would have had to pay. Actually, I would have, I gave him like a huge tip. I would pay twice as much, because it was such an experience. And I was like pumped all day, because I was like, man, people ask me always what makes a good coach. I was like, that guy. That passion. He's in his early 20s. I would love to know if he had a mentor. And he has learned so much. He cared about every single detail there was. I mean, and he had so much passion into it, and he took the time to explain it to me. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And to me, that's what a coach is, basically. Like, it's not someone who just went out there and just, go through the information and then they tell you like A to B to C and everything. It's someone who can make you want to do their job, and almost like who has so much passion into it, they transfer that knowledge. Everything he said I remember, but I left going like, man, hairdressing is such a cool stuff. That is a cool job. Like, I think that's what that's what I think a great coach will do for you. He'll make you want to do what he does, because he puts so much passion into it, so much knowledge into it. And he gave me knowledge I can use even for coaching movements, not just hairdresser, because it was such a cool experience to see that. So to me, that's what a coach is. He's someone who's not just giving information. He's someone who gives knowledge, right? Who go past just, in our case, telling people how to do wall ball, but who cares that people will be able to apply all that when they're outside of their gym, when they go play with their kids, how they're going to move then. That's really what our job is to make sure when they move then, they do it correctly. Inside the gym, that's the easy part. You see them twice a week. That's the easy part. Our job is to make sure when they're outside the gym, that they move correctly. And to do that, to communicate that, you're going to have that kind of passion to learn every single thing on your own for yourself, right? Because I think that's where it starts. Is you could tell that guy, it doesn't have to do all this. I can tell you, that guy Googled everything there was to know about the company selling in the cream. He knew where they're from, he knew where they started. That is time on his own that he spent perfecting every single thing. He experimented with every technique on its own. He answered the questions by himself, for himself, right? That's what a coach is. He's someone who will spend that time learning his craft. The guy is a craftsman, and that's what to me a good coach is. He's someone who has such respect in their craft. They want to be the best they can be. That does not mean you have to go to school. You don't need a master's degree. You don't need a PhD. That guy didn't have one, right? What you need is you need to have the passion, the love for your work, right? That you drown yourself into it, and that you want to experiment, so you learn everything there is to learn, not just for your people, for yourself too, just so that you learn your craft so well. And out of that, people will always feel your passion. And when you just try to transmit that, it will be an experience to that. It will be something that will stick. You will give them knowledge instead of just giving them information. And so to me, that's what a coach is. It's a craftsman, right? It's an artisan, I would say in French. And it requires so much of your time on your own answering questions, but again, for yourself, experimenting every single thing. So for a fitness coach, they always tell me, what do you think I should do first? Honestly, go experiment. Go take the Arnold Encyclopedia of Bodybuilding, look at the movements, and take each one and see how it's going to work with external and internal torque. How it's going to go heavy versus light. Can you get into a flow state? How does each and single movement work? Take 30 minutes, 40 minutes a day to the Globo Gym and spend the time learning every single movement, like how to do bicep curl external versus internal. Same thing for leg extension, for the leg press. Learn every single movement, try to connect it together. All this is the same thing. It's the body moving. It moves one way. Unite all this. Look at body weight movement versus weight. Learn, experiment, becomes a craftsman, right? All this will, once you know all this, you'll be able to give so much more to your people. That's what a coach is to me, is someone who's willing to spend the time to answer all those questions for himself, to learn about his craft, for the love of the craft, nothing else.